So the thing is, we think that this is school. You actually go inside of the building. There are desks. There are, teachers, your fellow student and classmates, and you just actually get there. You study. You get good grades. You advance to the next grade or not, right? But that's not all that school is about. I think that on an everyday life, we are going to be at school. I think that most of our lives, for example, in our childhood, the main places that you're going to learn certain things will not be just in the actual school and the building that you go to, but also in your household, right? You're going to start to learn certain patterns from your parents, from your siblings, how to talk and how to also do certain things, maybe morals with ethics, if let's just say you're from a strict and traditional household. Now, the thing is this, right? Every household should have rules. They should have morals and ethics to be able to teach their kids that. But the thing is this, though, right? As much as this is good, that can also be the things that are also negative. For example, limiting beliefs, and that in a way would also be school. You would also see that as some sort of a class, because let's just say, right, you're actually waking up every day, and let's just say you have a dream, correct? You have a dream, and you tell your parents that, and they're just looking at you like, yo, like, nah, bro, like, go to school, get a degree, and actually become a doctor or something like that. Do good, right? That would be school. If you spent maybe 11, 10 years, 15 years at a household, and that is exactly what you're learning every single day, not learning, but I would say that's exactly what you're being said every single day, man, like at one point that becomes school. It becomes something that you're programmed to think about every day. Now eventually, of course, you might come into a place where you're like, oh damn, like I don't even think I deserve this. I don't even think I deserve to actually go after the thing that I said that I was going to go after. And I feel like the thing is, as you're growing, and I don't just think growing as in, getting older. I think as just simply elevating in life, right? Going to places, you need to pick carefully to not enroll in the wrong kind of schools. So what I mean by this is what I mean. Let's just say you're going to try to get a job, right? You need to be very, very careful that the job that you go to is not the kind of job where you're going to slave yourself. That you're going to just be there, do XYZ, and then you go home tired, depressed, and then you're getting paid minimum wage. And at the end of the day, you're not learning nothing. You're not learning new skills. You're not learning how to actually communicate better. You're not learning how to be a leader. You're just there, just as like a little quick jobs. Now those jobs will be McDonald's, those little Marshalls, for example, Bloomingdale's, just those little jobs that we usually get to try to get our money up. And while it is cool to get your money up, you need to also understand that you're not just there to get money. You're there, maybe that's not your intention, to learn something, but as you're there, you're still going to pick up on certain things, on certain habits, on certain energies that may not benefit you. I know for me, at one of my last jobs, one of the things that I've picked up on is to match people's energy. Now, this is something that we usually are very big on in the modern world. Well, if somebody does something to you, you actually got to do it back. You're going to do it back. You're going to give them the same nasty energy if that is what they give you. And though I think it is it can be justified. However, I do think that if you really want to maybe stand out or just grow as a person, I don't think that doing this all the time is going to benefit you. And that's like what I did. That's what I did at my last job, where the people there were not exactly to my liking. And yeah, I just went there to get my money, but I didn't know how much that was affecting me until they got up one day and they said to me, hey, you know what? You're fired. I'm like, whoa, fired. What do you mean I'm fired? They're like, yeah, you're fired. You've been having this nasty attitude. You've been having XYZ. You've been just this person that we did not know that you were. That's not who we thought that you were. But you've become that person over time. And in my mind, I'm like, whoa, hold up, what? I mean, they are kind of right. You know what I'm saying? They are right. So I just kind of looked at it. I'm like, hey, have you kind of taken a look at the people that are in the management team? Have you taken a look at your leaders, at the people who are managing the employees? And that was when I also realized that I was putting the blame on people that, yes, they kind of had something to do with it. But at the end of the day, people are going to do them. People are going to be peopling. Let's just say that. People are going to act however they want to act. So therefore, you can't really control that. And then I just thought to myself, when I got fired, I came back here, I came back to my house, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, whoa, you know what? Never again. Never again am I going to be in a place where I am learning habits that do not benefit me as a person. Match their energy. If they say something to you, that's the third. Just be mean back. Just like put them in their place, quote unquote. Like, yo, like that's stupid as hell. Like, of course you should not let people walk on you, but I think that sitting in a place where you're gonna get walked on and that you're going to have to also walk on other people, I think that's probably some of the dumbest thing that you can ever do. To genuinely know that this is going to happen, that there are going to be those people who are going to step on you, but you choose to still stay there. And that's the thing. That's what I meant earlier about we need to carefully pick what schools we go to. We need to carefully enroll in the schools that are going to bring good and positive things into us. So that's really all that I wanted to talk about today, because of a simple fact that I've been thinking about lately, and I'm thinking that, hey man, like, what is wrong with me as a person? Like, what can I do to actually get better as a person? Then I thought to myself, okay, I can sit down to myself and be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do XYZ and I'm going to do ABC. But if I'm not in the right environment, then therefore I'm going to keep on learning patterns that are not serving me. And I think that's really one of the things that for the longest I've overlooked. Knowing damn well that there are certain patterns that I'm learning, that I'm picking up on, that are not productive to me at all, but I don't even know where they're coming from. And the place they're usually coming from is the places that you are the most. That might be school, that might be work, that might be your household. I mean, definitely your household, but that might be your friend group. That might be this thing right here. And I think that this is probably nowadays, I think that this is the school in which we spend most of our times. I mean, you're gonna be on this phone for at least, if you're an average person, just an average person, I'm pretty sure you're actually spending at least 4 hours a day on this. So whatever you see, whatever you learn, whoever it is that you follow on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever it is, eventually you're gonna start picking up on their words, on their ways of life. And a good demonstration of that is because there's this person that I actually know, that I used to be friends with. Well, not friends, but we used to be cool. You know what I mean? We worked out together, we shared some ideas together, and then recently I've seen them actually, and they are doing amazing for themselves. But there was this specific language that they picked up on, and I'm like, oh, you never used to talk like that. I mean, I didn't tell that to them, of course, but it was like an observation. I'm like, oh, you never used to talk like that. I don't know what changed, but and sometimes it's not really like bad. It's just like, okay, like you just kind of sounding in a way that that when I last saw you, you did not sound like that at all. And I feel like usually that's because of what we watch. It's because of what we watch. It's because of what we listen to, and the people that we choose to give access into our lives. So yeah, now I'm saying this not to judge the environments that we're in. If, let's just say, you have friends, for example, and it's not really me judging anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes judgment might be a good thing. And most people think that it has to be like any kind of judgment is bad. No, not necessarily. Because you are a human being. You're going to judge. You're going to associate certain thoughts with XYZ. So therefore it's very illogical to say, hey, you know what, we're not gonna judge. So yeah, we're always gonna observe things. But my whole point of saying this is that, hey, like, I'm not here to condemn nobody, but you need to be very careful into what friend groups, what workplace, and relationships, and all these components that you choose to participate in, because these will literally end up being like like a school for you. It's going to be something that you're going to spend most of your time in, and those can end up actually turn you into, I guess, mold you into a student that can either be good or bad, or maybe in the middle. You're going to start seeing things. You're going to start seeing things a little bit differently. So that's really all that I wanted to communicate on, is that we have to start being careful with that. And that's really that. Now, I hope that this video kind of gave you a new perspective on the interactions, on the places that you choose to frequent, on the places that you choose to spend most of your time in, on, your relationships, and etc., etc. And even when it comes to your phone, I'm sure that you've heard before that, again, whatever it is that you follow, whatever it is that you follow, mostly on social media, that's going to be ingrained in your mind. But putting it in another perspective, just see it as if you're going to school, you're enrolling into a program, and this is what you're seeing, right? This is what you're studying. So you don't want to study the wrong things. You don't want to study things that are going to keep you in a negative mind state. You don't want that. But yeah, that's really that. I hope you guys got something from this video. And that's going to be that. Make sure you have a great day. And again, keep enrolling in the right schools and surrounding yourself with the right things. All right? Peace.